Welcome to episode 6 of the Mid Podcast Football Review. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. So, Brandon, what's up?
I figured out a way to play football with D&D.
Okay. I don't know if that sounds interesting or not.
It is because it's the luck of the dice.
So, as normal, we always start our episode with our weekend takeaways. Do you have any weekend takeaways, Brendan?
Yes, Dan Campbell should call the plays every week.
Hmm.
And I mean every week.
What's wrong with your offensive coordinator? Ain't he the greatest thing since sliced bread?
John Morton is not good at his job.
Should we save that for the rant?
No. Just John Morton's very bad at his job. Which, I mean, not everybody could be good at what they do. But I expected better. Very predictable in his play calling.
Yeah. I have some takeaways, but I'll get into those during the rant portion of the show. So, I'm going to do something a little different. And I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think streaming sports today is better than sports being on basic cable?
Yes.
Elaborate.
I'm going to use NASCAR as an example. When they were on Amazon, they were able to, not go to commercials every 10 laps, right? On Fox, they go to commercial every 20 laps. Amazon was like, the only time we'll go to commercial is when we have a caution. So, just, stuff like that. And I just think it's better.
My pocketbook does not think it's better that you have to pay for all these streaming services to find a goddamn game on TV.
Well, no, of course, that's bad.
Off topic, and this will kind of go into one of my 3 rants that I'm going to do today. Did you know that Michigan is the only school that currently is ranked in football, men and women's basketball, and ice hockey?
Hell yeah.
Go Blue! So, this is our favorite segment of the show. It's the weekly rant. Do you have a weekly rant?
No, I don't.
I have 3, so I'll make up for yours.
Have fun.
Rant number 1. The Pittsburgh Steelers. And as you can see from the background, Mike Tomlin is a fraud. You have one of the highest paid defensive teams that you put on the field, and they fucking suck.
Well, of course they're going to suck when your offense can't move the ball more than 3 yards.
They still suck.
Well, yeah, when...
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Rooney, but he needs to get his head out of his goddamn ass and have the balls to fire Mike Tomlin. And now they're saying that he doesn't want to fire Mike Tomlin because the draft will be in Pittsburgh, and they don't want that hanging over their heads while the draft is in Pittsburgh. So basically, you are okay with a mediocre team and a mediocre coach that seems to have gotten complacent in his job and probably thinks, I'm not going to be fired. So as long as I have a winning record, I'm okay. Well, guess what? The fans are pissed. We want a goddamn Super Bowl. We want to make the playoffs and actually win a playoff game instead of this bullshit that you put on the field. It is not the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's my Steeler rant.
Well, I'm not a Steelers fan, and I like it when the Steelers lose. So, I
used to.
I think they should keep Mike Tomlin.
I think they should trade Mike Tomlin to the Detroit Lions for Dan Campbell.
No.
Dan Campbell would be a great fit in Pittsburgh. He's gritty. He is what the steel curtain defense would need.
Well, apparently what they needed is a lot more than what they got right now.
That's probably true.
Anyways, your next rant.
My next rant goes to my next favorite team in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Please explain to me how the fuck you get outscored 26-0 in the fourth quarter with a backup quarterback for the opposing team.
Hey, Davis Mills is goated. We love Davis Mills.
I think it is time to move from Trevor Lawrence. He sucks. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You've overpaid for him. And now you're going to be stuck with him. And everything else is going to suffer. He is not what you thought he is. It is time to move on, get another quarterback, and actually quit being frauds like the Steelers, because you pretty much have just gave the AFC South to the fucking Indianapolis Colts.
Hey, Danny Dimes is goated. Danny Dimes is very good.
I need the Jaguars to get their heads out of their ass. And that's my rant on the Jaguars. My third rant goes to the Big Ten Conference. Is the head of the Big Ten Conference trying to kill the Big Ten all by himself by trying to make backdoor deals and not letting other school boards look at this deal you're trying to make? Because evidently USC and Michigan are the only two schools that got the balls to stand up and say, hey, y'all are probably doing something y'all shouldn't be doing. It's not our fault. These other fucking schools in this conference suck and cannot make money. That's not my problem.
Well, it
Will
is
the
also
Big Ten survive if Michigan and USC decide to pull out of the Big Ten?
I mean, USC doesn't really mean anything. In fact, USC should go back to the Pac-12. Same with Oregon and Washington. And who's the other? UCLA.
And also, these athletic programs, they don't have a revenue issue. They have a spending issue. These schools are spending more than what they're bringing in. Because you're giving these goddamn coaches outrageous contracts. Then they fucking suck. Then you got to fire them. Then you got to pay them $50 million because that's their buyout clause, because Their agents were smart enough to negotiate that, and y'all were fucking stupid enough to agree to it. Learn to live within your means. Okay.
Is that all? The Big Ten will be fine. They would still have Ohio State and what do you call it? Penn State. I mean, Michigan State brings in money for basketball, not really football, because they fucking suck.
So those are my 3 rants for today. So since you don't have a rant today, Brendan, let's go on and move to our next segment and discuss some topics in college football. Some of these topics were from last week, but we didn't do a show last week, so I held them over for this week. So evidently, Auburn and Notre Dame have agreed to a home and home in 2027 and 2028, with the first game being played in South Bend and the second game in Auburn. And evidently, these two teams have never played against each other in football.
That's surprising.
That's what I thought. Your thoughts on it?
I mean, should be 2 easy wins for Notre Dame, depending on who Auburn hires as a football coach. As they fired Hugh Freeze.
We're going to talk about the coaching carousel in a little bit. Our next topic is Nebraska quarterback Raiola is out for the year with a broken fibula.
I saw that.
Carson Beck is the highest paid college athlete in history and has non picks in 8 games. Is he that the word of the day is fraud? So, do you think he is a fraud?
Now are these interceptions all his fault?
Interceptions are interceptions.
No. So, anyways, interceptions could kind of be a bullshit stat. Now, trust me, there are some quarterbacks that make some dumb-ass fucking throws, and they deserve to be picked off. But if the ball hits the receiver's hands, and it bounces off of his hands and it ends up a pick, that should not be on the quarterback. That should be on the receiver for not knowing how to catch a football.
There are only 3 active head coaches in college football that have won national championships. Can you name them?
Ryan Day, Dabo. Shit. Who's the third one?
Kirby Smart.
Oh yeah, I forgot he exists.
You forgot he exists.
I mean, technically Sharon won a national championship.
Not as head coach.
He was head coach for some of those games when Harbaugh was suspended.
Does not count. He was not the full-time head coach. So Michigan decided to stay home and not go abroad to play a game next year. Is it a good idea?
Yes, because the only college football game that should be played out of the country is the one they do in Ireland. And they could leave all the Germany games and whatnot to the NFL.
Who do you have winning between Notre Dame and Texas Tech?
Texas Tech.
So
That
evidently,
is
Kentucky
excellent.
State decided to back out of its game against Delta State just days before the kickoff. Is that a good move?
No.
Kind of makes you not want to schedule them on your calendar.
Nope.
So, evidently, UCLA has found themselves in some hot water because they have decided they want to move all their games out of the Rose Bowl and from Pasadena to SoFi Stadium, which is closer. However, the city of Pasadena and the Rose Bowl is now seeking a restraining order against UCLA moving.
I mean, I get it. I do. And apparently traffic in Pasadena is a bitch.
Well, they said there's only one lane in and one lane out.
Yeah, so that's
So
just
if I
not
was
good.
UCLA and they wanted me to stay, I would see if I could con them into like making the road bigger or something. I mean, it's like 26 miles from the university. And SoFi is like 12 miles from the university. SoFi seats more people. So I can understand why UCLA would want to move. But then you have to look, home games are probably really the only big revenue Pasadena might make.
I mean, yeah, outside of the Rose Bowl game, but that's only once a year.
Yeah. And how many home games does the college team get? What, 8?
6,
Yeah.
5 or 6.
So it sounds like we're going to have a legal battle.
Why is there not a legal battle going on in college sports?
That's true. So, Brendan, how would you rank these top 3 teams? Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas A&M. If you were the person in charge.
Ohio State, A&M, Indiana.
So, every year before college football, we get the preseason rankings. But I'm starting to wonder if preseason rankings are not that important anymore, because when the preseason came out, Texas was number 1, Penn State was number 2, Ohio State was 3, Clemson was 4, Georgia 5th, Notre Dame 6th, Oregon 7th, Alabama 8th, LSU 9th, and Miami was 10th. Currently, where those top 10 teams are ranked, Texas is at number 10, Penn State is not ranked, Ohio State is sitting at number 1, Clemson is not ranked, Georgia State at 5, Notre Dame dropped from 6 to 9, Oregon State at 7, Alabama went from 8 to 4, LSU is not ranked, and Miami dropped from 10 to 18. So how important do you think are preseason ratings?
There is just something for people to talk about. That's all it is.
So, the state of college football right now. There are currently 12 opening head coaching jobs from the following universities: Arkansas, Auburn, Colorado State, Florida, LSU, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, UCLA, UAB, Stanford, Penn State, and Oregon State. Out of those, which job would you take if you were a head coach?
The Florida job. Florida or LSU.
Why would you take those?
Because it's the SEC.
So, The Colorado Buffaloes won't be bowl eligible as they were handed their 7th loss against West Virginia. Do you think they can turn it around next season?
Depends if they get a quarterback or not.
So you think that's the missing piece to Colorado?
Well, I think there's a lot, but I think that's the main one.
So let's talk about the state of the ACC.
Terrible.
You had 14 Virginia losing to Wake Forest. You had number 15 Louisville losing to Cal. Duke, who is 4-1 in the ACC, loses to UConn. You have SMU beat Boston College. And then you had number 18 Miami beat Syracuse. It looks like number 17 Georgia Tech is looking to be in the driver's seat of the ACC.
And that's saying something because Georgia Tech has never been good at football.
That's true. They've kind of been like in the middle. I think they did win a national championship one year, though.
Yeah, probably back before white people were when white people were the only ones playing.
No, I think it was like in the 90s. I'll have to look that up. So, former head coach Brian Kelly has sued LSU and is demanding a massive buyout.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
interesting.
That's gonna go really good or really bad.
Do you think it makes Brian Kelly look like a douchebag that he's suing LSU?
No, Brian Kelly's already a douchebag.
More of a douchebag than he already is.
Yeah.
Well, those are the topics that I had for this week. So now, do you have any college games from this past weekend you want to discuss?
No, not really. Most of them weren't good. I mean, the Oregon-Iowa game was 18-16, but that game sucked. Oh, Wisconsin's leading passer was their punter as they beat Washington.
Okay, then.
Just gonna throw that one out there.
How did that happen?
Who watches Wisconsin football?
Hey, Wisconsin has produced two of the best defensive players that the NFL has seen.
Ray Lewis didn't go to Wisconsin.
I'm talking about the Watt brothers.
Aiden Hutchinson went to Michigan.
I'm talking about the Watt brothers, as in TJ and JJ.
Anywho, Michigan plays at Wrigley Field against Northwestern this week.
We'll talk about that later. So if you don't have any college games, we're going to move on to our NFL random topics. Yay.
I was getting to my college games.
Oh, well, you said you didn't have any.
Not to talk about last week, but this week there's games I want to talk about.
Okay.
Like, there's Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. That could be a good game.
Yes, College Game Day will be there, I hear.
Oklahoma and Alabama. Iowa, USC. Texas and Georgia. So
now that might be a good game. I might watch that game.
Derek Watt's the best Watt brother.
I agree.
Now we can go into the NFL.
What time's Michigan play?
Noon.
Oh, because we won't be home that evening, so.
Nope.
All right, so our NFL topics. So evidently, Jerry Jones is not as stupid as we thought he was, because evidently the Cowboys put in a poison pill into Micah Parsons' trade that will not allow the Packers to trade him to the Eagles. Was that a smart move?
No, because he still traded away his best defensive player. He should have. He should have never have done that. Like, cool. You get a pick if they trade him to Philly. Okay, guess what? You still shouldn't have traded Micah Parsons. If I had a nickel for every time in the past year a GM of a Dallas sports team traded their superstar player to another team, I would have 2 nickels. Speaking of, Nico Harrison got fired today.
I've seen that.
And Jerry Jones should fire himself.
Yeah, that ain't ever gonna happen.
Nope.
He ain't gonna get fired until he dies.
Pretty much.
My next is called What the Fuck. The Dolphins called a timeout at the 15-minute mark of the game. How? Why? What?
The play clock was down to 0.
Okay. Is Josh Allen the most talented player in NFL history without a Super Bowl?
No. It's not even close. Especially when there's a guy named Calvin Johnson.
Dan Marino?
Dan Marino won a Super Bowl.
I thought he didn't.
I think Dan Marino won a Super Bowl.
I was pretty sure he didn't. You might want to look that up.
No, he played in one and they lost to San Francisco.
So he ain't ever won one.
No. I thought he was part of the Dolphins team that went undefeated.
No, that was before his time.
Yeah, well, Dan Marino is also old. Okay, so it was around that time period.
Okay. If you say so.
No. It's Megatron. It's Calvin. No, technically it would be Barry Sanders.
Didn't we have a discussion about Calvin Johnson the other day?
Yeah, because you wanted to spew some fucking bullshit.
What did I say that was incorrect?
Saying that Hines Ward was better than Calvin Johnson.
Am I wrong? Hines Ward's got a Super Bowl.
Super Bowls are a team stat, not a player stat.
Just saying.
Like, who's better, Drew Brees or Peyton Manning?
Drew Brees.
No, by your logic, it's Peyton Manning because he has more Super Bowls.
No, that logic only works when you're talking about wide receivers.
No. No, it does not.
Of course it does. Tony Gonzalez, the great tight end from the Chiefs.
Julius Peppers? Eric Dickerson?
Yeah, Eric Dickerson never won a Super Bowl when he played for the Rams.
But no, I don't think Josh Allen's up there. Joe Burrow, maybe.
Are the Giants as bad as the Jets?
No,
as head coach DeBall said that quarterback Jackson Dart was not checked for a concussion immediately after a hard hit, and that it was not noticed until later. And this is the 4th time this year that Dart has had to be checked for a concussion or been in concussion protocol.
Welcome CTE. I mean, that's all I can say about that.
You know how much we love Cleveland and the Cleveland sports fans, right?
We love making fun of Cleveland.
Well, guess what? We're getting ready to do it again.
Yay!
So Cleveland sports fans are calling for an investigation into their quarterback Gabriel's play after missing wide open receivers all game. Is this the future of sports that now when a player has a bad game, fans are thinking they're throwing the game for betting reasons?
Well, they are in Cleveland, so in considering that 2 of the Cleveland Guardians players are facing up to 65 years in prison due to illegal gambling, it wouldn't surprise me. But no, I do think it's more satire and sarcasm, because like when Goff has a bad game, I was like, oh, he was probably betting on himself throwing 3 picks. I don't think Jared Goff is actually part of a illegal gambling ring. Then again, he might be. I don't know what goes on in Jared Goff's personal life. Like, he doesn't seem like the guy who would get himself tangled up in something like that.
The NFL suspended Washington's defensive tackle Darian Payne for punching St. Brown. Is that fair?
Yes, because St. Brown was talking shit earlier and kind of like pushed him off of him, and then a few plays later, St. Brown was still talking shit, and that's when Payne punched him. And you know they're always gonna get the person that retaliates. So next time, just keep your cool.
Well, it sounds from your logic that this St. Brown should be suspended also.
St. Brown didn't do nothing wrong.
He antagonized him to punch him.
Okay, that's... Maybe Payne should learn how to keep his cool. And stay composed. And focus on football.
It seems that Washington head coach Dan Quinn will now take over defensive coordinator job as he will begin calling all defensive plays. Still wouldn't help him.
No. Washington's just beat up.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It was noted today that Joe Burrow is back at practice with limited action for the Bengals.
He was back yesterday.
Does the NFL have a quarterback development problem?
Yes.
Okay, now let's read. Jackson Dart was a first-round pick. His head coach is fired. Cam Ward, first-round quarterback pick. Head coach is fired. Caleb Williams was a first-round quarterback pick. His head coach got fired. Drake May, first-round quarterback. Head coach fired. Bryce Young, first-round quarterback. Head coach was fired. Trevor Lawrence, first-round quarterback. Head coach was fired. So who's to blame for this quarterback developmental problem?
The owners. The coaches.
Elaborate on why you think it's the owner's problem.
Our front office management. Let me put it like that. Because most of these picks, they were what? 23, 22-year-olds coming into the NFL. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting your whole franchise on their back to try and get better. A rookie is not going to come in and make your franchise better like that. Especially if you have no O-line, no run game, and nobody to throw the ball to. That's what I think Bryce Young's problem is. And I mean, yeah, Carolina's doing decent this year. They're 5-5, so there's improvement.
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I don't think some of the quarterbacks in college are getting coached properly. And then they get drafted, and these owners and, like you said, front office management is like, okay, well, you're going to be starting, when they should be sitting behind a veteran quarterback learning the NFL game, because the NFL game is much different than the college game.
Well, and that's what the Giants tried doing with Jackson Dart. That's why they signed Russ and Jameis. Now, granted, Russell Wilson hasn't been good since like 2020. Yeah, I mean, Jameis isn't a bad person to learn from, but I mean, he's either throwing it to the right team or the wrong team, and there's no in between. So the Giants tried to do it right. Russ shat the bed because he sucks and he's washed up. They throw Jackson Dart out and he's doing good. And now he might have a concussion. And truthfully, I don't think Daboll should have been fired. I think they should have let Dave.
We'll get to that in a minute. But staying on topic about the quarterback development. You draft a guy number one, you pay him all his money, and then you throw him out there. And when he fucks up and he sucks, the coach gets fired. Because you can't fire the quarterback.
Well, I mean, could.
How many teams are really going to do that, Brendan?
The Jets.
Well, the Jets are special.
Yeah.
But moving on. Is Jordan Love a franchise quarterback?
Fuck no. Jordan Love fucking sucks. That dude is the worst quarterback in the NFC North. He is overpaid as fuck for not even throwing 100 yards last night. This dude could not hit a wide receiver if he fell out of a fucking boat.
Well, damn. Is there anything else?
Towers would still be standing if he was the pilot. That's how fucking bad he is. Jordan Love is garbage. He will never be anything in the NFL. And he learns from Aaron Rodgers. And you're still fucking bad. But also just fuck Green Bay. Green Bay also just fucking blows.
Okay, are you done about Jordan Love?
Yes.
Do you think that the Miami Dolphins should try and go after Bill Belichick next year?
No, I think Bill Belichick should have stayed retired.
Would you consider these teams the four worst teams in the NFL? The Jets, Giants, Browns, and Raiders.
The Jets, yes. Vegas, yes. The Browns, yes. I would say the Saints are worse than the Giants. Because, I mean, the Giants, they have been in close games. Well, okay, they lost to the Saints, so you know what? But yeah, I don't know. The Giants have 3 hard games coming up next, so there is a possible chance they are 2-11 before the end of this month, or at the beginning of next month. Because they have Green Bay, Detroit, and New England all in a row.
Hmm. So the Giants fired their head coach today, or yesterday. Should their GM have been fired also? Now, granted, this is the same dude that decided to keep Daniel Jones and sign him to a $60 million contract and also let Saquon Barkley leave.
Yeah. That whole GM and coach should have been gone. Or no, not Dayball. Dayball should have stayed. Congrats on Casey Mize. They had a child today. Congrats to Casey Mize.
Okay.
Detroit Lions legend. Or the Detroit Tigers legend.
Well, back to our Giants talk. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those are all the topics I have for the NFL. So, got any games you want to talk about from the NFL this past weekend?
Can we talk about how all the primetime games were shit this week?
We sure can.
So Thursday night, the final score was 10-7. Last night, the final score was 10-7. And Sunday night football was a fucking blowout. So, yeah. The primetime games, just not that good this week. Which, I mean, I guess it happens from time to time, but holy hell.
Yeah, but when you're making the schedule, you kind of don't know what team is going to be good and what team is going to be bad.
No, I'm not blaming the schedule.
You know, so it's kind of hard. You're like, oh, well, these teams are normally good, so we're going to put them two together. And then when they're both ass, you're like, fuck. And it's on national TV.
Yeah.
Is that all you want to review?
Pretty much from the primetime games.
Well, if you have nothing else, we can go on to our weekly picks.
Oh, wait, the Lions got their get back from Washington in the playoffs. Fuck you, Washington. Also, Buffalo. How do you get destroyed by the 2025 Miami Dolphins?
Somebody better call the popo because there was a murderer in Miami that day.
Just not good. Not good. Especially, wait, so are you saying every time I draft Josh Allen in fantasy, the Bills are going to be bad now? Anyways, thoughts for next season. Picks for this week? Or how do we do in picks last week?
Week 10, this past weekend, you went 7 for 7. I went 5 for 9. I really sucked.
Woohoo! 500, baby!
Week 9, since we didn't do a show, you went 10 for 4, and I went 8 for 6.
I don't know what that brings our season totals to.
No,
have to do that
I'll
another
do
time.
that at the end before we start playoffs.
But yeah, 10-4, woohoo! And 500 last week. Anyways,
So
this
now it is time to pick games for this coming week, starting
We
with
have-
Thursday night.
the Jets in New England on Thursday night. Give me New England.
You're taking the Jets, I hear.
I'm taking the Patriots.
I'm putting the Jets down.
No, you're not. Sunday starts off early with this game being played in Madrid. Yay, Madrid.
I am so sick. Wait a minute. Let's stop for a second. Can we stop fucking playing all these games international? It's no goddamn American sport, not a goddamn European sport. They got football. It's called soccer. Okay.
Are you done?
Mhm.
So yeah, we start off with on Sunday. Who wants to go back? Washington versus Miami.
Ass versus ass. Fuck.
Yes.
And basically,
vote
this
for a
is throw a
tie.
quarter up and see, pick a side.
Especially it being playing in this shitty ass fucking stadium in Madrid. It's where Real Madrid plays. And do you know my opinions on Real Madrid?
I figured it was.
Give me Miami.
I think I'm going to take Miami too.
Next up, Carolina versus Atlanta. Give me the Panthers.
That's going to be tough.
And the Falcons blow.
I know, but it's a division game, and it'd be the one time Atlanta comes out and looks like a fucking great team. But the Panthers have the hot hand right now. I think I'm going to go with the Panthers.
Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. Give me Baker Mayfield, or Baker may throw a pick.
I think I'm going to go with the Bills. Coming off that loss to Miami, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah, but it's Tampa Bay, and Tampa's a good team. Plus, I like Baker more than I like Josh Allen.
Tampa didn't look too good this past weekend, though.
Houston versus Tennessee. Houston coming off of a miraculous comeback.
Say that again. Fucking jackass Jaguars.
And give me Houston. Because the Titans suck.
I'm taking Houston also. Hey, since we're going to AEW tomorrow, maybe I should make a sign that says, "Hey, Tony Khan, can you get a good goddamn football team?"
No. Next up, Chicago versus Minnesota.
Ooh, divisional game. Chicago's looking pretty good.
Minnesota's coming off of a loss.
Minnesota's coming off a loss. Where are they playing at?
Minnesota.
Okay, so we're not really going to have any elements.
Give me Minnesota. I need Minnesota to win.
I'm going Bears.
So,
I think Caleb is figuring it out.
Okay, hold on. I think Chicago's going to win, but it would be better for the Lions if Minnesota won.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, switch my pick to the Bears.
Next game.
Green Bay versus the Giants. Give me...
Do we know if Jason Dart's playing? Or Jackson Dart?
No, not yet.
They're playing in New York or Green Bay?
They're playing in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
And they just fired their coach, so that means they might come out and try to make a statement. That's a tough game to pick.
It's Green Bay all the way.
I think I'm going to go Green Bay.
The Giants do have a solid defense.
Oh, yeah, sometimes they do have a pretty good offense.
And sometimes the Packers offense doesn't know how to play football. Look at
No,
last
that's-
night.
That's true, too. Next game.
Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. The last time I chose Pittsburgh to beat Cincinnati, they lost. So give me Cincinnati.
Where are they playing this at? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. At Heinz Field. Not
At
whatever they
Cashier
call it now.
Stadium?
No, it's Heinz Field.
I'm going to stick with my Steelers because I'm a Steeler fan.
Ooh. You and Bobby aren't going to like each other this week. How the fuck did that work out?
Me and Bobby didn't like each other this past weekend either.
Yeah, and this week it's now the Chargers versus Jacksonville.
Let me guess, you're taking the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers too. Fuck Jacksonville.
Damn.
Next.
We go out west for Seattle and the Rams. Both are 7-2.
Both teams are pretty good.
Ooh, one of these teams will come out of this game leading, being the only one in charge of the NFC West.
They're playing in Seattle.
They're playing in LA, but give me Seattle. I think Seattle. The Rams are good. I just think Seattle's a little bit better right now.
I'm going to put my faith in the old man quarterback they got. I'm taking the Rams.
Stafford's only thrown 2 picks this year. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Stafford for MVP.
So I'm taking the Rams.
We have another AFC West or NFC West game. San Francisco versus Arizona. Give me San Francisco. There's not much to talk about this game. Arizona sucks.
No, San Francisco ain't looking that great neither.
They're 6-4.
Think some of them wins are luck.
Baltimore versus Cleveland. Give me Baltimore as I'm wearing my Ravens hoodie.
If the Ravens lose to fucking Cleveland, they just need to be kicked out of the NFL.
No, if Baltimore loses to Cleveland, Harbaugh needs to go. Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are the same coach besides one's black and one's white. That's the only difference between those two.
Basically, they got the same coaching style.
And they have lived off of winning 1 Super Bowl over a decade ago.
Mm-hmm. Next game.
The Chiefs versus the Broncos.
I'm taking the Broncos because I want the Broncos to beat their ass.
Well, I do too, but I'm going to take Kansas City. Oh, that's the Monday. Oh, no, that's disgusting.
Next.
Sunday Night Football. Your Detroit Lions head into Lincoln Financial Field to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Wow. I believe in MCDC. I'm taking the Lions.
And then, I don't know why the fuck this is the Monday night game. Dallas versus Vegas. Give me Dallas by 100.
Dallas versus who?
Vegas. Dallas
I'm going with the crack wagon.
And they're not only going to win this game, they're going to win this game by a lot.
And then knowing our luck, the fucking Raiders will win.
Yep.
Who's got buys this week?
Indianapolis and the Saints.
Just 2 teams?
Yep. Your 2009 Super Bowl matchup? Yes. Because 2010 was Pittsburgh and Arizona.
Okay, so those are our picks for this week.
Yeah.
Not going to change any before I lock them in?
Nope.
All right. They are in. Anything we're looking forward to in this week's games?
No, not really. Besides seeing how the Lions do against the top team in the NFC.
That could be your NFC playoff game.
Could be.
Was there anything we missed that we want to talk about?
Nope.
No? We're doing good. If that is it, then that's all we have for this week's episode of the Mid Football Review. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on X at the Mid Podcast and on Twitch, the Mid Podcast. Also, make sure to check out our blogs on themidpodcast.com. There are some good blogs up about wrestling, about sports in general. And if you have nothing else, Brendan, I guess that's going to do it for this week. And hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Also, happy Veterans Day to all of our vets that have kept us safe over the years.
Thank you for killing bad people.
Thank us for making us not speak German.
That too.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye.